Are you looking for a fun Easter project to do with your kids? I have a colorful craft idea for them that uses one of my all-time favorite supplies, washi tape. These Easter tags will brighten up your Easter baskets, or they can be turned into cards or even place cards for the Easter table. Let's go over the supplies that you'll need. First, grab some scrap paper. I'm just using printer paper. I like to cover my work surface with this when I'm watercoloring. It's especially a good idea if you have little kids involved. Then you'll need some watercolor paper. I'm using a 9 by 12 inch pad. It's 140 pound and it's cold press. Cold press differs from hot press in that it is more absorbent and it has texture to it. You'll need a paper trimmer, or scissors and a ruler will also work. Then you'll need some watercolors. I'm using Watercolor Confections palettes from Prima. The colors that I'm using are the Pastel Dreams collection and the Classics collection. You'll also need a water brush, or you can use a paintbrush and a cup of water. But I love using a water brush because you have the water right there in your brush ready to go when you need it. Then you'll need an assortment of pens and markers. For detail work, I'm going to use the Pigma Micro pens from Sakura. Then for lettering, I'm going to use the Pitt Artist Brush pens from Faber-Castell. Then grab an assortment of ribbons, as well as a hole punch. I'm using a 1/4 inch punch for these. Then of course, you'll need some washi tape. It doesn't have to be Easter, it can be any type you have on hand. We're going to do the striped version first. I went ahead and I cut several 4 by 5 inch rectangles from watercolor paper. You want them to be slightly larger than whatever finished project you're making. If you're going to turn these into cards or place cards, you'll want to adjust that size. And if you're working with kids, it's a good idea to have several of these rectangles cut ahead of time. Then go ahead and use washi tape to secure one rectangle to a piece of scrap paper. You want to secure the paper down because watercolor paper has a tendency to curl up a bit when you actually start to paint on it. So that washi tape will hold that down. Once you have that secure, you're going to attach links of washi tape to the rectangle. I'm using a couple of different widths. This will give me a variety of stripes in my project. And then just brush the colors on. I'm using bright, happy colors that make me think of Easter eggs. You can make these colors as bright or as light as you would like. And then once you have those colors on there, you're going to set that piece aside to dry. For the cross tag, we're going to do the same thing, use washi tape to secure that rectangle to scrap paper. And then we're going to use the washi tape to form the shape of a cross onto the rectangle. You're going to kind of just eyeball that shape and then use scissors to trim the ends so they're straight. And then just brush on dots of color. I wanted this to kind of have a stained glass appearance, but feel free to do stripes or rectangles, whatever you would like. I did this project, or a similar version of this project, with a couple of my nieces earlier this week, and they both did something completely different for the backgrounds, and they both were beautiful. Once you have that done, again, set it aside to dry. Your stripe version should be ready to remove the washi tape. So go ahead and take those washi tape links off, and then you're ready to trim it to the size that you need. I made my tags approximately 3 by 4 inches, but again, if you're going to use this for something else like a regular card or a place card, just keep that in mind as you're cutting it down. Once you have that trimmed to the size that you need, you're going to use a brush pen to letter your phrase on there. I just did Happy Easter on mine. And then you're going to trim the corners into a tag shape, punch a hole and add some ribbon. For the cross tag, I did use the Pigma Micro pen to go around and add some stripes and dots around the edges of the cross. This makes the cross just stand out a little bit more against that background. And then I used the brush pen to do the He is risen phrase onto it. I hope you and your kids enjoyed making these tags. If you share photos of these on Instagram, I would love you to tag me so I can see them. I'm Brooke N Designs. Thanks so much for watching, friends. Remember to like and subscribe.